Hello, guys, and welcome again to this edition of Autodesk Learning 101. So, this is Rich, and I'm very happy to be with you again for another topic in Revit 2019. So, for today's topic, we're going to talk about pacing. All right, so we're going to talk about pacing in Revit. All right, so first of all, what is pacing? Okay, so pacing, many projects such as renovations proceeds in phases, right? So each representing a distinct time period in the life of the project. So if you use pacing in your project, it will makes you alert about the timeline of your project, okay? The time of the project. So when was it created? So what is the pace of this? Is it already existing? And then you go to the new construction. Okay, so Revit tracks the pace in which views or elements are created or even demolished. So you can use the pace filter, which is I'm going to show you later on, to control the flow of building model information into views. Okay, so this allows you to create pace specific project documentation, complete with schedules if you want to add a schedule. All right, so basically the pace allows you to be aware of time on what is happening during the construction of your project. All right, so let's get started. So in this simple model, so as you can see, I already have this house created. Okay, so let's say for example, I will be doing some renovation for this project. So let's say I'm going to renovate the exterior portion, like for example, the exterior door here. I'm going to renovate, and then I'm going to renovate also some parts of the interior of the house. So the pacing of the house will be, first I'm going to create the exterior, and then after that I'm going to create the interior of the house. All right, so to get started, so let's say for example, you went to the site and then you saw this building. Okay, so the building is already up. So what is the current pace of that particular house? Okay, so logically, the current pace of that house will be placed under the existing pace, right? So what I'm going to do is, since the building is already up, I'm going to select the whole building. And then as you can see from the properties here, you can change the pace created here. So currently it is set to new construction, but in reality, this is actually not new construction, but it is already existing. All right, so I'm going to select existing, and then I'm going to select apply, and you will notice the color will change to that color gray. All right, so the reason why it changed to colored gray, because the settings of existing pace is set to that color. Let me show you how to modify that. If I go to the manage tab, and then from the pacing panel, I can see here the paces tool. So it specifies project paces, pace filters, and graphic overrides for paces. So I'm going to select the paces here, and then I'm going to select the graphic overrides tab. So when I go to the graphic overrides tab, you will notice that the existing pace here, the color is actually a gray one. So any objects that you will be placing under the existing pace will inherit these settings here. Okay, so that's the reason why our house here, the whole building becomes colored gray because of this setting. But if you are going to change that, let's say for example, I'm going to change this to colored, let's say the existing will be cyan. All right, so I'm going to change the color to cyan. You can even change the pattern if you want, but I'm not going to do that. And also the line weight, as well as you can clear the overrides to make the settings here go back to the default settings. All right, so I'm not going to modify the pattern or wait. I only change the color just to show you what will happen. So I'm going to select OK, as well as the, let's say the cut lines also, if I have a cut lines. So I'm going to select that. So let's say I'm going to change this to cyan as well. and then I'm going to select OK. So if I select here OK, notice that it will becomes cyan, right? Okay, because the setting of this building, let's say this roof, is set to the paste created is set to existing. That's why it becomes cyan. All right, so going back to my paces here, I'm going to change again the graphic override. So let me just go back to the default settings. So I click that, and then I just select here, what's the color of that? Is it gray? So I select gray here. Okay, so same with the cat. All right, there you go. All right, so hopefully you understand that one. Okay, now since this building is already existing, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the level one. On the level one, this is where I'm going to do my modification or uh, alteration. Okay, addition and alteration for this building. I'm going to do it on level one. So I'm going to open level one. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, or let's say I'll just rename it first. So this is my level 1 existing. Okay, so what I want to do is on my level 1 existing, I want to show the existing view of my level 1. Okay, and then I'm going to move the slider down here, and there's an option here. Okay, what I'm going to do is for the paste filter, instead of showing all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select here show complete. All right, so show complete. So what is the setting of the show complete? So this is what we call the paste filter. The paste filter that I have selected is show complete. So I'm going to select apply. Okay, so this is now the paste filter show complete. So notice that it becomes highlighted again. So if I'm going back to the paces here, I select the paces, and then I select the paste filter here. So I selected here show complete, right? So the show complete setting is like this. So if it is existing will show by category. So what will happen is the color will be based on the visibility graphic override settings. Okay, so if your settings for the wall, for the door, or for all the elements that is under the existing um, pace will be placed under the view by category. So when you say by category, the color will follow the visibility graphic overrides color. So what is that? So the VB, when you type VB to open the visibility graphic overrides, so as you can see, this is the by category settings. Okay, so this is the by category settings. So any changes that you made here, it will affect your by category settings on your visibility graphic overrides for the existing. So you have three options here. So you have by category, which follows the settings of the visibility graphic overrides of your current view. And then the other one is overridden. Okay, so when you say overridden, so overridden is the settings of this. Okay, so the settings of this. So if I want my elements here to be colored gray, just like my existing here, so what I need to do is I need to change this to overridden so that the settings will follow the settings of my graphic overrides here. Okay, but I do not want to do that. So let's say I'm going to change that to by category. So the third one is not displayed. So obviously any elements under the show complete um, filter under existing base, if you select not displayed, it will not be shown. So just like this one, if I select not displayed, so I'm going to select OK, it will not be displayed, right? Because those elements are under the existing base and the base filter is show complete. That's why it will not be shown, right? All right, but I'm not going to do that. I want by category. All right, so on the show complete filter, all the new elements will follow the by category settings, will follow the visibility graphic overrides of the current view. Same with the existing, but all demolished elements will not be displayed, as well as the temporary elements if you select the filter show complete. Alright, so hopefully that is clearer. So I'm going to select here OK. So I just show you where is the paste filter. How to change the settings of the paste filter. You can actually create your own paste filter if you want. Okay, so I'll just select OK. Alright, so that's my level 1 existing. So when I went to the site, so this is the building that I have saw. So it's already existing. So now I also want to show when I do the renovation. So I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, just give me a moment. All right, so let me just rename this. So this is my exterior demolition. All right, so I also want to create a view that will show my main entry. Main entry. All right, and I also want to show the view interior demolition. So if I have exterior demolition, I also have the interior demolition. So I'm going to duplicate this. So last. All right, so this will be my interior renovation. All right. So I now have here 5 views. Level 1 existing, demolition, exterior, main entry, interior demo, and interior renovation. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to open again my paces here. And this time around from the project pace, as you can see, we have here two paces. Okay, so we have two project paces. So we have existing and we also have new construction. Actually, you can rename that if you want. Okay, like for example, for the new construction, I'm going to rename this. So let's say I will call this base 1 dash exterior. Okay, and then I'm going to create another one. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to create another base here. So I select here after. So the base that we'll be creating will be after this space here. So I'm going to select this. All right, and then I'm just going to change the name here. So let's say I'm going to call this space 2 interior base. Okay, so basically here on the project base, you notice that from this portion, there's the past and then there's the future. So meaning to say, this portion here, the number 1 pace, that will be your oldest pace. And then the latest number here, or the, let's say number 3, that is the newest pace. Okay, so as you can see, here's the future, the other one's the past. So this is the oldest, this is the newest pace. So every time you add the pace here, every time you adds up the pace, it will just keeps on creating more newer pace. Okay, so again, number 1 is the old pace, the third one is the newer pace, the newest pace. So for the story of this building, so what we were going to do is, we are going to, I'll just select OK. We are going to make the exterior demolition the second phase, at the first phase, and then the interior renovation, that will be the third, I mean the second phase. So we will be doing the renovation for the exterior, that's the first phase, and then we will be doing the renovation for the interior, that will be the second phase. All right, so now that we have done with our level 1 existing, so meaning to say when we went to the site, we have seen this building, it's already existing. All right, so we didn't change anything here. What we only did is we changed the correct paste filter for this one, and then we selected all the elements and then set the paste created to existing. Okay, but we didn't do anything yet to edit the 3D model. We just change, or we just specify the correct view. Now, for the next space, what I'm going to do is, like what I've said, the next phase will be the exterior renovation. So I'm going to do first some demolition. So let's say, for example, the construction is now moving. It will now move to the exterior demolition phase. So I'm going to open this. I double click. Now, what we need to do is we need to specify the current paste filter, right? So what will be the current paste filter for this one? So what we are going to do first is I'm going to select all these elements, and then I'm going to select here paste created. So instead of existing, okay, oh, sorry. Since this is only a demolition, so I'm going to do some demolition here first. So let's say I'm going to select manage here, and then after that, I'm going to select modify, and then I'm going to select demolish. So I want to demolish this door here, okay, and then I also want to demolish this um, window, and then I also want to demolish this window here, okay, because you can see all the elements that I have demolished disappeared, okay, because it's being affected by the paste filter here. As you can see, the paste filter here is show complete. So if you remember, when you select show complete, it will not show any demolished elements, right? It will not show, but this is what we want to do. I'm going to change the paste filter. Instead of show complete, I want to see the demolished elements. So that's why I'm going to select here show the previous elements plus the demolition. I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to select here apply. All right, and also make sure that the paste here is set to the correct pace, not existing anymore, because we already moved on to the next space, right? The first space is existing, or I mean the original pace is existing, and then we move now to the first space, which is exterior, because we are now working on the exterior renovation. All right, so the paste filter I selected here, show previous elements plus demo. So what is the settings of show previous plus demo? Why is it becomes gray and like this? So if I go to the paces, if I select paste filter, you see show previous plus demo, it will not display any new elements. Existing will becomes overridden. The demolished elements will become overridden. So like what I have said earlier, when you say overridden, the settings will follow graphic overrides here. The settings of your graphic overrides will be followed by overridden. Okay, so let's say for example, for the demolish, I want these demolished elements to be colored red. So I click this one, click that, change the color to red. That's it. So same with this. I change that also to red. There you go, red. And you notice also the colors here of the existing elements become gray because of the existing here. You see it's gray. That's why it becomes gray. Okay? Because on the paste filter, show previous plus demo, the existing is overridden. The demolish is overridden. So meaning they are following the settings of the demolish here and existing. So I select here OK, and look what will happen. Right? So you just make sure that you are on the correct pace. Now, after the exterior demolition, so let me go back to our first pace, which is this one, the original pace, level 1 existing. Alright, so this is the level 1 existing. Just make sure the pace here is in existing. Okay? Alright, so this is the existing view. When we went to the site, this is the building. So the pace is existing, and then the filter shows the complete building. Now, we move to the next phase, which is exterior demolition. So we did some renovation. So this is the, we haven't do the renovation yet, but we just did some demolition. So as you can see, it's demolished. We are now on the correct pace because we already moved to the exterior, and then this is the pace filter. Now, after we did some demolition, so we will now be doing some renovation. So I'm going to open the main entry. Now, for the main entry, we are still on the phase 1 exterior base. And for the base filter here, I'm just going to select here show complete. Alright, so show complete. And since this is main entry, so this is now your renovation. So I select this. I put some door. So let's say I'll put the door here. And then I also put window, window. Okay. Alright. That's it. So maybe on my exterior demo, I'm going to demolish this wall as well. So I'm going to demolish this wall. So manage, modify, demolish. So I'm going to demolish this. There you go. And then I select modify. So when I go to the main entry, it's already disappeared because the paste filter here is show complete. Okay, so we are now done with our exterior paste. So we will now be moving to the interior demolition. So I select interior demolition. This time, you need to change the pace because you are now going to move to the pace number 2. And since this is interior demolition, so I'm going to select here show previews plus demolition. Okay, so I'm going to do some demolition here. So modify hammer. So I'm going to click this, click this, click this, click this. Okay, and then modify it. So this is now my interior demolition view. Okay, so it's already set. So this time, so let's move now to the interior renovation. So I double click this. For the interior renovation, again, we will now be moving to the latest phase, phase 2, and show complete. Apply. Alright, let's show complete, phase 2, interior renovation, interior phase. Okay, so for the interior renovation, so I'm going to create wall to do some renovation here. Here, here, here. And then let me just create a partition here. Partition. So let's say this is the renovation. And then I'm going to put the door here. Door, single door, single door. There you go. So this is now my interior renovation. So that's it for our renovation. So let's review again. So first, when we went to the site, this is how it looks like. Okay. And then after that, we did some exterior demolition, which is this one. So after we did exterior demolition, so we did some exterior renovation. So the main entry. So there's the door now, and then there's the 2 windows. So after the exterior, we now move to the interior demolition. So this is how it looks like. So we demolish these walls and door here. So that's the demolition, and then after that, we now move to the base renovation. So which is looks like this one. All right. So basically, this is now your latest model. So as you can see, your pacing will makes you aware of what is happening on your project. It will make you aware of time, okay, on the pace of your project. So if I go to the 3D view, okay, then I select this one. Oops, I select this. Okay, so this is show complete. I select show complete. So this is how it looks like. So that's the phase one. So before, the existing is like this. There you go. So that's the existing, right? And then after that, we move on the phase two, phase one, exterior. So there's the renovation. And then you also have the phase two here for the interior, which is this one. Okay. All right. So basically, that's how you use your pace. So hopefully you learned something from this video. And if you think this video helps you, please don't forget to click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to Learning with Rich, consider subscribing. So once again, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.